We live in a world that is constantly demanding a response from us, a comment, a like, a defense. But today, we're going to explore a really powerful, almost radical idea, the incredible strength you can find in not reacting at all.
So let's start with a place we've all been, the middle of a heated argument. But what if I told you it's more than just a disagreement? What if, in that very moment, you're actually walking right into a psychological trap?
You know the feeling. You're in that tense conversation, or you're reading that email that just sets you off, and the pressure builds. You can feel your heart start to pound, your breath gets shallow. It's like a complete physical takeover.
And while your body is just going into overdrive, your mind starts racing, right? It's desperately trying to find the perfect comeback, that one flawless defense that's going to win the point and just shut the other person down.
But here's the thing. That exact moment, the second you feel that desperate need to fire back, you've already lost. You've just handed over complete control of your inner state to someone else.
It's like a dance, right? The person who provokes and the person who reacts are locked in it together, but it's the provocateur who's leading. Your comeback, no matter how clever it is, isn't really a sign of your strength. It's actually proof that they are pulling your strings.
So why is this trap so dang effective on us? Well, it preys on something really deep, something often unconscious. This fundamental human need we have for approval from the outside.
Have you ever felt that little spike of anxiety when you're waiting for a text back? Or maybe you find yourself replaying an argument hours later, thinking of all the better things you should have said. It all comes from that same place, that constant nagging urge to prove yourself.
And let's be clear, this isn't just some bad habit. You could call it a form of psychological slavery, a state where your actions are no longer your own conscious choices. Instead, they're just automatic reactions, chained to what other people say or think about you.
Every single time you feel that compulsion to explain, to justify, to defend who you are basically saying, your approval of me is more important than my own peace of mind. You're surrendering your power by making your identity dependent on their judgment. Okay, so if reacting is the trap, then how in the world do you escape? It's not with better words, it's not with a louder voice. It's with a tool that's ancient, incredibly powerful, and honestly, it feels completely counterintuitive. Silence.
You know, we tend to think of silence as an absence, right? A void. But in a tense situation, it is an active, powerful force. It creates this vacuum that the other person feels an intense, almost unbearable need to fill. It applies immense pressure, and you don't have to say a single word.
I mean, just look at the contrast. When you react, they control your behavior. But when you stay silent, you control yourself. Suddenly, they're not engaging with you anymore. They're stuck responding to their own echo, their own attacks. You don't just stop the power drain, you completely reverse the entire dynamic.
Your silence becomes a mirror. Without your reaction to feed on all their energy, their anger, their accusations, it has nowhere to go but right back at them. And in that discomfort, believe me, they often end up revealing way more about themselves than they ever planned to.
Now, this whole practice, it isn't about winning arguments or trying to intimidate people. It's about something much deeper, a profound internal transformation. It's about becoming a self-defined individual, someone who operates from a core of unshakable inner calm.
See, real strength isn't about having the loudest voice in the room. Not at all. It's about getting to a point where you don't need your voice to be validated by that room. It's about defining your own worth, completely independent of all the noise.
When you have an emotional reaction, you become predictable. People know exactly which buttons of yours to push. But when you stay composed, calm, silent under pressure, you become unreadable. And someone who is unreadable cannot be easily manipulated or controlled.
Just picture a chaotic meeting. Everyone's talking over each other, it's just noise. And then, one person who's been quiet the whole time speaks calmly. What happens? Everyone stops. Everyone listens. It's like a fundamental law of human dynamics. A calm, centered presence will always, always dominate loud, emotional noise. Your composure is your power.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? Especially when every instinct in your body is screaming at you to react. Let's break this down into a really simple, concrete practice you can start using today.
It's incredibly simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. The next time you feel provoked, here's what you do. 1. Pause. Just for a second. Break that circuit between stimulus and reaction. 2. Look at them.
Not with aggression, but with a kind of calm, detached observation. And 3, say nothing. And this really gets us to the ultimate redefinition of power. It's not about forcing everyone around you to hear you. It's about reaching a state of inner security where you just don't need anyone else to hear you to know who you are. Your validation comes from within.
So as we wrap this up, the challenge really shifts. It's no longer about whether you can win the argument. The real question, the one that truly defines your own personal freedom, is this. When the world does everything it can to provoke you, can you choose to remain unmoved?